stimulus package, your $1,400 stimulus check, and also the executive orders leading into the third stimulus package. I'm back live with you shortly, right after this recording, with Purple. On that video, I'll go over your second stimulus check and big money you can get right now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now, $5, $10, $15,000 across the board. Stay tuned with that recording. It's right after this one. This one will be about 30 minutes in length, and that comes right in right after that. If you want to get all that money, $5, $10, $15,000, no matter what walk of life you are, join me for that recording right after this. Well, what a day it is. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video. In this recording, I'm going to go over how the day started about talking about relief for all groups of people. The day took an unusual turn in the middle of the day when relief for one person at issue became a topic of discussion. And the day ended with a question about relief for people forgotten. When we look at stimulus relief across this pandemic, the message has been very similar, each of the stimulus packages. What group is being taken care of and what group is being left out? In the first stimulus package, there was a lot of talk about too much relief for big business, corporate America. After the first stimulus package was passed, there was actually a series of 2 or 3 packages before the second stimulus package, in which they gave other rounds of PPP loans, again, for big business. The accusation was that there's too much relief for businesses and not enough relief for Americans, for hardworking Americans, enough stimulus relief for you. Then, finally, in the fall of 2020, you and myself got stimulus into the CR, the second stimulus package. And the stimulus check was not the amount it should be, but finally there was an equal disbursement of stimulus for people. The return of FPUC, UI, PUA extended to March, another $600 stimulus check, and then rent, utilities, food, and internet, and more. Those are detailed in the video after this. What happened the start of today was a testimony on a Senate subcommittee by Jerome Powell, head of the Federal Reserve. And the testimony is so great and so important for stimulus because of the following. Currently, the U.S. economy has 2 things happening. There are some groups that are doing very well financially, and there are other groups that have not yet improved. And what Jerome Powell said is, I'm here to ensure that all groups get stimulus relief, not just one group. He used the example of the housing market. How if you look at the housing market, they're doing massive, wonderful, financial, lucrative business. But if you look at people under $45,000, he says they need stimulus relief. They need stimulus relief because they still face long-term unemployment of over 6 months. And that ultimately they need that $1,400 stimulus check, that $3,600 for children under the age of 5, that $3,000 for 17 years to 6 years old, the $1,500 for hazard pay, the $5,000 for the EIDL grant, the paid sick leave of $1,400 a week. They need that stimulus because these are people who are unemployed and have been unemployed for several months, in some cases 6 months, which is called long-term unemployment. And he says the number's not good. He said it's not particularly accurate for Wall Street to say, hey, we see growth in housing starts and the economy's back and ready to go. He said, no, it's not. African Americans, Latin America, the Latino community, women, certain ethnic groups and demographics have struggled. And then financial groups, low-income households, less than $45,000, have struggled. Today, Gavin Newsom signed into law a state law in the state of California where a $600 stimulus check will be sent out to residents of California. It's not for rich people. It's for people who make less than $30,000 in 2019 earnings. It falls after the state of Maryland did one just a few weeks ago. The $300 stimulus check for people who make less than $15,000. Other states are doing it as well. This was incredible, great news because the stimulus push of the third stimulus package is focused on the issue of low-income and middle-class America is still financially struggling. That's how the day started. The end of the day started just a few minutes ago. I was about to go on air and I got a message from someone saying, "Can someone talk about SSI and SSDI? People have forgotten about us." They have forgotten about you, but I've not forgotten about you. There is no update about SSI and SSDI. I've launched the new campaign of this channel, which is get even, don't get angry, and cash a check, not track a check. I've shown you if you're on SSI and SSDI and Social Security real benefits, or you make less than $49,000, or you're a single mom, then I'm going to show you how under the third stimulus package you get about $5,000 to $10,000. You get about $5,000 to $10,000 under the third stimulus package, even if you're on SSI and SSDI. But I make it even better. I show you how in the video after this on purple, I can get you $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 right now if you're on SSI and SSDI from rent, utilities, foods, and more. That's coming up right after that. That's the new focus of this channel. Cashing a check, not tracking a check. Being focused on getting money rather than focus on people forgetting you. The middle of the day took a strange turn, and I didn't notice it until a few minutes ago when one of the viewers alerted me to the issue. In a day in which there's a lot of recordings, I don't always look at the analytics. And one of the videos I did in the middle of the day, thank you, Liz, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. One of the videos I did in the middle of the day did very well, good traffic. But the likes and the downs was lower than I think I've ever seen. What was it? It was a Tiger Woods car crash story. So I went to look at the comments minutes ago. And ironically, the comments are the mere opposite of what Jerome Powell was talking about and what the person on SSI and SSDI was talking about minutes ago. The person on SSI and SSDI said, people forget about us and don't care about us. The comment from Jerome Powell this morning says when we talk about stimulus, people try not to care about low-income people. People try not to care about people who don't, who have not rebounded from the economy by focusing on the housing market. Oh, the housing market's great. Let's talk about something that's great. No, we got to have widespread reemployment. So what were those comments I saw about Tiger Woods' video? The video's title was about Tiger Woods' car crash. The video was not about stimulus. Didn't say it was about stimulus. It was about Tiger Woods' car crash. The picture's about Tiger Woods' car crash. So what were the comments were? The comments were, he's rich. Why should I care? The comments were, he's a billionaire. Why should I care? It was almost the reverse of what Jerome Powell had said earlier today, and the reverse of what the person on SSI had said. She said, I'm poor, no one cares about me. Jerome Powell said people want to focus on rich housing market and don't want to focus on low-income people. And here we had people who were doing the opposite, the complete reverse. We shouldn't care that someone was in a car crash because he's rich. That's not ever going to work in any type of universe where someone's focus is only on their universe and not focusing on the other side. What Jerome Powell said today was so important for economic issues. He said that basically when you look at growth numbers, he said, yes, the economy is growing, but the unemployment numbers are not. Hey, Jill Goldstein, the economy is a long way from employment and inflation goals, and it's likely to take some time for substantial further progress is achieved. This was in his statement to the Senate Banking Committee urging for more stimulus. He said, yes, some sectors have been more adversely affected by the pandemic, and that prices have gone up. But we should not underestimate the challenges we currently face to point to an improved outlook this year, in particular ongoing progress. In the meantime, we should still have issues. He said, sure, the housing market has more fully recovered from the downturn, but we need to focus on income inequality. We need to focus on fixing all parts of this economy. And while I see some of the comments in the screen are people talking about how we should be absolute decent to other human beings, it actually goes even further than that. The comments in the video to Tiger Woods talked about his wealth and why you shouldn't care about someone because they're wealthy. That's not particularly where a person's mindset should be. Thank you, Victor, for the super chat. That should not be where a person's mindset should be if, in the same breath, they're saying, no one cares about me because I'm poor, so I won't care about rich people. That's not the correct mindset. It's never been the correct mindset. You know, this channel has taken a path. Thank you, Emily, for the super chat. In April of 2020, when I pressed record, the first 3 videos on this channel were about the EIDL grant, which is for anyone from an Uber, Lyft, or Grubhub, or Airbnb operator. The second video was about unemployment, which could be a UI or PUA operator. And the third video was about another thing for unemployment. Over the next 2 months, this channel did an enormous amount of EIDL coverage. EIDLs for anyone from an Uber, Lyft, Airbnb, Postmates, all the way up to a business owner who has less than 20 employees. In the months that came on later than that, I got viewers about $25 million. But what was important was not so much the money, but was the families that I saved. I had a person who needed that money for that EIDL grant down to the last minute because she ran a dog grooming business in Denver. The next day, her husband was having to do payroll for the staff, and that staff had four people on staff. Those 4 people were the single working individual in the family, so they needed that check. They got that EIDL just in the nick of time. Had they not, those 4 households would have gone hungry that week. I had another viewer who I met eventually in person, who my help with getting his EIDL not just helped his business, but kept money on the table for 4 families that ultimately would have lost everything. But somewhere around May or June, as I started to go into stimulus coverage, someone said, how dare you talk about business owners? They're rich. What? How dare you talk about EIDL? They're rich people. No, that's not how anyone focuses on this channel. A mom who goes out and drives an Uber car at 9 o'clock at night after getting off from work to put extra money in her bank account is a business owner. She is not she is a business owner under the EIDL. That's not to mean that she's rich. And so ultimately, you need to understand that empathy and focusing on helping everyone is really where we are. In the third stimulus package, there's going to be money for all walks of life. You're going to get a stimulus check of $1,400. You're going to get a $1,400 stimulus check for if you're a single individual, if you're a mom, if you're on SSI or SSDI, you're going to get a $1,400 stimulus check. If you're an adult dependent, you're going to get a $1,400 stimulus check. And if you're a child, you're going to get a $1,400 stimulus check. Then everyone also watching this channel will get rent if you make less than $45,000. You will get utilities. You will get food, SNAP, and you will get internet. Those 5 items together, of those 5 items, 4 of them you have to apply for. The check is automatic, and they total about $5,000 to $10,000. That's where we are on third stimulus. Everyone's going to get help. To answer that viewer's question that sent me the question a few minutes ago, where is the help for SSI and SSDI? Everyone gets that money under the third stimulus package. I had someone else tell me, hey Mary, thank you for the super becoming a Purple Hawk. I really appreciate it. Earlier today, someone sent me a message saying, you know, that Gavin Newsom thing of the $600 where the state is giving states checks. What if I'm on SSDI? Do I qualify for this? This is what I tried to always impart to viewers. Unless I say you're not covered, you're covered. It is always presumed that you're getting the thing, that you're in the scope of eligibility unless I say otherwise. You don't have to even ask. I'll tell you when it's a scope of eligibility that you're potentially not in there. All right, let's get to a scope of eligibility that you may not be in there. If you don't have children or you don't know that you have kids, the baby mama hasn't knocked at the door yet. If you don't know you have some children or, you haven't seen them yet, show up at the door yet, this section will not apply to you. Those that have children will get a $3,600 stimulus check for that child 5 years to newborn, plus $1,400. So yes, that child will get $5,000. If the child is 17 to age 6, you will get $3,000 plus 25 plus $1,400. Now, there was not to dwell on past, but I had one viewer who I've known for almost 5 months on this channel. I've known him from the EIDL days. He about a week ago posted in one of the chats, "Don't talk about the children. I'm tired of hearing about the children. I don't have children." Another viewer saw the comment and sent me a message and said, "Ban him." I can't ban him. He's a longtime viewer and I know him very well. He was having a bad night, I guess. But why would you hate on someone having a kid? I just don't. Why would you hate on someone having a kid? If you don't have a kid, I'm sorry you don't have a kid. Go borrow a kid. No, don't borrow a kid. Borrow a stuffed animal or something. But if you don't have a kid, thank you for the pairs and thank you for the other pairs. So don't hate on people that don't have kids. That's like what's that? What's wrong with you? So you know who you are with he's not in here tonight. So it's just very strange. All right, next. when we get to the hazard pay, you can get $1,500 for hazard pay if you worked in the pandemic, made less than $25,000, and that would appear as an earned income tax credit. Next, if you're a college student, you get $1,700 of financial aid. Don't be hating on the college students. I hate the college students. Stop it with the hating on the college students. All right, so then we get to the EIDL grant. The EIDL grant, and someone who's in the chat right now the other day was posting 5 times. Wait, is it $4,000? Is it $6,000? When I say something as what it is, I literally mean that's what it is. The EIDL grant's $5,000. To which I had someone say, who's in the room the other day, that she will remember saying this. Is it $4,000? Is it $3,000? No, it's exactly $5,000. How do I say this clear? It's exactly $5,000. So how do I get so do some people get less? No, you get exactly $5,000. Thank you for the super chat, someone just that. The EIDL grant is for anyone who is a Schedule C, Uber, Lyft, Grubhub. So someone just a second ago asked, how do I get an EIDL? Who's qualified for an EIDL? Anyone that has a Schedule C. What is a Schedule C? A Schedule C appears on your tax return. A Schedule C denotes a side business. You don't have to have a corporation. You don't have to have an LLC. You don't have to have an EIN. You don't have to have a business bank account. You just have to declare the income. You could be a lawnmower. You could be the guy. You could be the paper route guy in the neighborhood. You deliver the newspaper to the neighbors, and you make $2,000 a year. Schedule C. Schedule C just appears on the tax return. Schedule C, $2,000. If you're not doing the tax return the right way, we can go back and do an amended tax return. So EIDL pays $5,000 if you had a 50% decrease in your activity because of the pandemic, and you have less than 10 employees, which is generally the viewers of the channel. So there you go. There you go. In a day in which Jerome Powell started by saying, we are not going to sit back and talk about, this is sort of the visual I had, how Jerome Powell did this, head of the Federal Reserve. I'm not going to have you sit back and say, oh, we're making a lot of money, Jerome. The housing market's through the roof. The economy's on overdrive. Everything is doing really well. He's like, no, you're not. You're idiotic. Jerome Powell, who's very reserved, basically called everyone a bunch of idiots today because he said, Have you not looked at the unemployment numbers, idiots? Why are you talking about how wonderful this economy's doing? Do you not tune into L8 every Thursday morning at Mornings LA when he delivers the new unemployment numbers? There are 800,000 new unemployment claims per week. 800,000 new. 4 million reoccurring unemployment, long-term unemployment people. I mean, those are people who've been unemployed for more than 6 months. 4 million in the United States, and 20 million or 18 million, depending on which week you're looking at, of people who have been unemployed from the week before. So those numbers are not good. So he said, "What are you doing? These, who told this guy we're in a good economy? We're not in a good economy yet. So cut it out, cut it out." So there we go. There was other great news across the board today, which is Johnson & Johnson announced it could now deliver 20 more doses of the single-shot vaccine to to the U.S. government by the end of March. That was a statement today. The Biden administration made news today as well, upping the number of doses it's delivering to the states every week. I told someone this story, and they had a funny reaction to it, which I sort of do as well. I mean, I want to tell me if you agree or disagree, because this isn't my reaction to it. So the Biden administration today announced that it will be now delivering 14.5 million vaccine doses per week. Last week it was 13.5, and he started week one at 8.6. My thought is, why not just start at 14.6? Why are we just why are we bragging about how we suddenly are doing a little bit more? If it's available, why are we just taking our time getting these doses out? Nisi, thank you for the super chat. It don't make sense. Do you agree? I don't. Every time I hear a Biden administration announcement about how it has more vaccine doses, I mean, just open the door and get the U-Haul truck, get the F-150 pickup and just fill it up with the vaccine doses and drive them out. I mean, what's going on here? Why every day it's like, we got 5 more for you, we got 20 more. Just get them all out. Why are we like dribbling them out? California announced the $600 stimulus check. The $600 stimulus check will be coming to residents if you made less than $30,000. To which viewers were asking me, there's a catch to that, isn't there? There's no catch to it. You don't need to send me 35 DMs asking me, what if my hair is purple and I made $5,000? Do I get 30,000? Do I get the $600? If you made less than $30,000, you're getting $600 stimulus check. Don't make it difficult on yourself. It's that simple. But the one that is complicated, and I don't know the answer either, is that Gavin Newsom also has now signed into law that he has going to have a $2 billion for businesses for new business grants. So he had business grants in November, and a lot of people couldn't get it because they had 4 billion applicants, and they only paid out 500 million of them. So that's like 1 out of every 20 got a grant of a small amount. This time he has $2 billion available. So get ready to watch for that business grant. Really exciting. Now, other states will be doing the same thing as well. Other states will be doing the same thing as well. The big update at the 30-minute mark is that viewers of this channel are suddenly coming back in groves to this channel because they realize that timing of third stimulus is everything. Timing of third stimulus is everything. What about paid sick leave? Can I get it? So paid sick leave is one of those great questions I'm getting about when retro. I'm worried about anything that like that. I don't think it's going to be retro. It just smells like it's going to be from when the laws passed. And there's a lot of questions about eligibility on something like the paid sick leave, like who applies for it, what if you're a sole practitioner, all those type of things. But I think what's really exciting is that viewers have now realized, do I have to apply for the EIDL grant again? I think you will have to. You can get the EIDL grant again. You can get it again. And thank you for the super chat. So you can get the EIDL grant again as it's so written. Let's see what happens. The big news as you start the new evening is that Jerome Powell will testify again tomorrow, but this time before the House Banking Committee. and will basically indicate that this country needs more stimulus. The House of Representatives, yes, Cheryl, the House of Representatives will vote on your third stimulus package this week. It will pass this week. It's not a I'm not guessing on it. It will pass because the House dominates the number of votes. Will we get retroactive FPUC? Not currently, but the push is underway for it. Great question. The third stimulus package will then go to the Senate on about Monday. And then in the Senate about Monday, kicks in all the dramatics. The senators who are in the Democrats, who are in the Democratic Party, want this stimulus package to go bigger. Some of it want to go bigger in certain places. Others want to take the $15 minimum wage out. So I'm really expecting big dramatics for the events of Monday and Tuesday next week. Please always watch the videos of this channel so you know what is in the third stimulus package. Someone just asked a second ago if I understood the verb tense. Is there SSI in the third stimulus package? No. I mean, I can't say it enough times. It's not in there. 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 Could it get in there? Sure. If Elizabeth Warren steps up when it gets into the Senate, it could get in there. Absolutely. Does it cost a lot of money? No, it's not a big ticket item. It's not a big ticket item. Could it get put in the Senate? It could. Should it be a standalone bill? It should. Will it be a standalone bill? It should. Will Biden do it? I don't know. But is it in the bill? It's not. And I don't want people to be behind on information. I don't want you to be behind on information. By this point, we're getting so close to the bill passing. I want you to get caught up on what is in there and what you should get. The message of this channel is don't be a check tracker. Be a check casher. I don't want you to track what date $1,400 is coming into your bank account. Because under the second stimulus package, some people got the $600 stimulus check within 1 day of going out. Some people got it 2 months later. Imagine the impact of having a check come 2 months later than your neighbor got his check. It just happens. I don't want you to track checks. I want you to cash checks. You cash checks by watching the video after this, Purple, as I show you how you can get the big money that's available under second stimulus. That big money is $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. It's available for you right now. And you can get it so that 2021 starts to turn into a very good year for you. I want you to be financially stable and positive in 2021, and I know you will. I have faith in you. You start that by getting money on the come now, not by waiting for a check in the horizon. Don't want you sitting back and looking and tracking that check in the horizon. I want you grabbing checks and cashing checks that are available for you now. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. 1,100 people in the room. This is the best darn channel there is because I'm focused upon getting you money. And I'm focused on reporting whatever I want to report. If you don't like the video, you can not watch the video. If you don't like golf or you don't like Tiger Woods, you can just not watch the video. But someone in one of the comments earlier today said, LA Late, when did you become Entertainment Tonight? Let me just give you a hint. LA Late didn't just start 9 months ago. LA Late has absolutely dominated financial, entertainment, and sports reporting for over a decade. And ultimately, it could be tomorrow, it could be 10 months from now, it could be 10 days from now. I may push record and have a celebrity and I want to talk to them and talk about, what color their car is. You don't like the video, you can just not watch the video. Ultimately, not every video is for every person. And my focus is keeping you informed and educated and having a lot of fun. Stay informed, stay focused. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And see me in just 5 minutes after this with the big money you can get under third stimulus check and third stimulus package. Second stimulus check and second stimulus package on Purple.